Yesterday I checked the weather forecast and it said all rain and thunderstorm across Italy and around Rome where I live. So I decided to stay home for the weekend. Yet when I woke up this morning, it was bright sunshine and not a single cloud on the sky. I called my family in Sweden and they told me that the summer has started really early this year as well, the same as last year, with really high temperatures and bright sunshine. I also called a friend in Paris to see how they were doing, since in the past weeks there have been heavy rainfalls causing floods of the river in the city. And this is something that we have seen a lot recently, that the weather forecast is becoming increasingly mistaken and weather patterns are unpredictable and causing these extreme weather events in different parts of Europe. Although we are lucky to have a strong ability to cope and adapt to this impact of climate change, both economic, social and environmental costs are really high, with people with even fatal consequences in parts of Europe in the past days. In Rome, one of the key challenges to climate change mitigation and reduced carbon emissions is the urban transport system. Since there are not a lot of public transport alternatives, people use to a great extent private means, such as car and motorbike, which involves burning fossil fuels. So, in order to improve the situation and reduce the carbon emissions by the city and by the citizens, we need to act now, and we need to act together. From a policy-making standpoint, changing the transport system is obviously a very challenging task and can be an extremely costly one. In Rome, the additional problem of, for example, creating a network of subway is the historical heritage of the city. So when you start digging to build a subway, you might come across very highly valuable cultural sites, and which makes the construction very costly and complicated. But there are other alternatives. For example, extending the network of electric buses and trams would be one solution that would also be cost efficient. From a citizen point of view, we have to do the best we can to reduce our own carbon footprint. One great example is using the bicycle, even for short distances, and using the train when you want to go afar, or why not combine the two? You can also talk to your colleagues at work. Maybe you will find that you live on and use the same route to go to work. You could share the ride. Or why not group up and go by bicycle together, which makes it both more fun and more safe. We shouldn't let perfect be the enemy of the good. If everyone do their small share and chip in, we can reduce emissions on a great scale. Policymakers have to allow citizens the right conditions to shift their behavior and use green transport solutions. While the citizens ourselves, we have to step out of our comfort zone and do our best to reduce carbon emissions.